Is this what's pictured on the website? Was this a bait and switch? Did I get had? I seriously need your help down in the comments. Hello, my friends. We have a box from Xeric, which means we have a new watch to take a look at. This is the Xeric NASA Artemis Tumbler. Now, this is not my first Xeric watch. This is my first Xeric watch, the Holograph 3. One question you might be asking yourself is, what time is it? And honestly, I ask myself that too, and it's why I don't wear this hardly at all. But it's a fun watch, and Xeric is a micro brand that specializes in kind of alternative ways of telling time, but not in a way that costs you hundreds of thousands of dollars, like some of the MB&F type brands out there. So let's take a look at what this is about. Let's hop into the website first. As a celebration of mankind's return to the moon, we created NASA's Artemis Tumbler Automatic. Our tumbling satellite complication tells the time in a mesmerizing way, utilizing our proprietary tumbling hour automatic movement, available in an assortment of striking colors. And those striking colors are, you kind of got the white and blue here, the white and red, the mostly black, this teal, the orange, which I really considered, but I went with this blacked out with the purple. I'm a big fan of this. My other Xeric watch that I don't really wear that often has a black case. I wanted a watch with a black case that can go into kind of the normal rotation, and this one seems to fit the bill. You can see $1,500. This isn't cheap. I got it on Black Friday sale. It was 25% off of this. So I think that was $1,125, 11. I don't know, you do the math and figure it out. It's just over $1,100. And when it comes to this complication, like, I'm really interested in this tumbling complication because Urwerk did this tumbling complication. But as you can see, when you go with an Urwerk, you're looking at $45,000, and this is a pre-owned price up here. Also, Atawak is doing these as well. These, again, a little bit more expensive, not $45,000, but we're in the $2,200 US range. The Atawak has kind of a non-traditional case shape, much like the Urwerk did. I really thought about this one, but I ended up going with the Xeric because it had, again, a more traditional case shape. The cheaper price also helps a little bit, and I did like the purple. Now, this bracelet is not really something I'm interested in. I'm going to be wearing this on the strap, but the blacked out case, this tumbling hour type of complication that we'll get into when we open the watch on this silicone strap, I think is going to make for a really nice looking package. And honestly, I just want this to scratch an itch. I was at the Tag Heuer boutique recently and tried on this beauty and kind of fell in love with it. But I am not in the position to buy an $11,000 watch right now. But this Monaco looked so good on my wrist. And it was the black case. You got some hits of color, a super interesting dial, some different things going on. The silicone strap, the entire package was gorgeous. And I think that this watch, given my love of NASA and astrophysics and all that stuff, you can tell by my t-shirt at the beginning, I think this is going to scratch a similar itch. We'll have the silicone strap that matches the package nicely, the blacked out case, the interesting stuff going on the dial, and I have a feeling that this watch is going to be just a bit easier to tell time on than the previous Xeric that I have experience with. So this might actually see some wrist time. Now, tumbling hour complication having to do with traveling back to the moon is a whole bunch of fluff and marketing speak to me, but I dig the NASA vibes. I bit for it. So let's get this box open and see what we get with the Xeric NASA Artemis Tumbler. And here we have our outer box, which admittedly has seen much better days. This was not the shipping box. It seemed to be packaged okay. So I'm not sure what's going on in the Xeric warehouse, but let's just say the outer box has seen better days. Luckily, we're dealing with things on the inner box. And the inner box is more of a case. Now, if you've never had a watch from Xeric before, I think this is how all of them come. This is how my other one came anyway. The other kind of zipper case was black. This one is obviously white with the NASA branding on it. I like the NASA worm logo. That's very cool. But this feels cheap, like just objectively cheap. And I would have much rather had just a standard watch box. I mean, we're talking about a $1,000 plus watch here. I want something a little nicer than this. That's just me. I know. That's just me. But, I mean, come on. What's going on? All right. We open it up and we get, big old thick piece of foam with our warranty card. Now, Xeric, come on. Step it up. They're offering a 1-year warranty. Pretty much San Martin and AliExpress watches are offering a 2-year warranty now. Do better. We deserve better than a 1-year warranty. This, I don't know what this is. What is that? Did they give us a little pocket flashlight? Okay, black light, UV light to pop the Lume. Okay, well, I don't have one of these, so that's kind of cool. I'll keep that around. Maybe we'll use that on the channel going forward for some Lume shots. Before we get to the watch, underneath we have our secondary strap. We got our silicone strap here with our branded matching buckle. This is a really nice strap. And thank you for the quick release spring bars. Much appreciated. That's going to make changing the strap much easier. And I appreciate that because this is how I'm planning on wearing this watch. And now let's go ahead and get to the watch itself. Easier said than done. Get it out of there. Let's toss our cheap, worthless foam. Toss that down. And here we are met with loads and loads of plastic. So let's get the plastic off of this and see how it looks. While I struggle with the mountains of plastic defending this watch from view, if you could give this video a quick like and subscribe to the channel, it'd be very much appreciated. I'm just a normal guy doing this for fun, and I can't afford to buy a new watch for review every single week. But our channel just got monetized, and we're building something here. So hopefully we can change that in the future. Your subscription and your views go a long way to help in that process. So if you like these normal person, unpretentious watch reviews, hit that subscribe button because that's what I want to do more of. And finally, here we are with our Xeric NASA Artemis Tumbler. Now, I immediately have an issue with this watch. This is not black. This is objectively not black. Oh, by the way, they tossed a whole plastic factory at this case. That was a task. But I mean, if we bring this up next to our Holograph 3, like this is a black case. It's coated black. And this is not. This is gray. It's like a gunmetal gray. But I'm not sure how to feel about that because the product photos were clearly black, not gray. This is my Speedmaster gray side, right? And if you look at the color here, we're looking pretty similar case color. And this is gray ceramic. This is supposed to be black, right? At least I thought it was supposed to be black. That's kind of one of the main reasons I bought this watch. But was this a bait and switch? Did I get had here? Will you please let me know down in the comments? Like, would you be happy about this based on the product photos that we saw? Because we actually did take a look at the website. All right. Well, while I process that, let's go ahead and go through kind of the mechanism and the complication here. You can see pretty well, I think, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but just below the NASA logo there at 12 o'clock, there's a little pin down on the dial. And I believe the way this works, I'm pretty sure it's a screw down crown as well. Yep, there we go. Screw down crown. So we'll unscrew that. It pops out. And when we pull it out and go to adjust the time, you'll see that these kind of hour pillars, I guess, maybe it's an hour pillar, they will catch on that little pin down there and they will rotate. So you'll see 6 turning into 12. And then the 10 up there will turn into 1. Now the 11 will turn into 2. And you'll see that on the bottom third of the dial here, that is where you tell the time. So we have a very clear arrow that's pointing at the minute track. So here you can see now it is 2 o'clock. Spot on 2 o'clock. 2:10, 2:15, 2:45. And then when those minutes run out, the next hour is right in back of it. So that's the complication here. We have no running seconds. It is only telling us the time in hours and minutes. This is built on top of a Miyota movement, which is a really nice workhorse movement. And then they've built the module on top of that. This is kind of mesmerizing. I really like watching this go around. Right now, as I film this, it's 11:44. It's almost going to be 11:45. So let's go ahead and stick this at 11:45. And that is where we're going to be. So we'll do that. We'll give it a wind and screw that crown back down. Come on. Screw down. Here's my first little gripe. That didn't thread very easily. And is the crown threading in all the way? I don't know if that crown is fully meeting the case there. I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to be or not. I would think that crown is supposed to be meeting the case. Let's look at it from the back. Yeah, like there's a little gap there. I don't know if that's a QC issue. I don't know if the stem is a little longer than it's supposed to be, or if that's just how it fits and it looks a little bit awkward. But, I mean, it's screwed down tightly, so it's going to give us a bit of water resistance. I'm not sure what the actual water resistance is listed at on this piece. Let's look up the spec on the website. Water resistance is listed. Oh, man, what a mess. Come on, give me some bullet points, Xeric. Okay, so movement, they're calling this a caliber X41. So this is the proprietary automatic, obviously with the module, right? And this is built on top of a Miyota 9039, which is a really nice movement, actually. It's a time-only Miyota movement. It's an upgraded Miyota movement, 24 joules, 4 hertz, so it's a high beat rate. I kind of wish there was a running seconds indicator somewhere, anywhere, so we could kind of see that high beat rate of the movement. I don't necessarily need to count the seconds, but seeing that high beat rate would be nice. Shock resistant, okay. Power reserve of 40 hours. And this case is 42 millimeters wide, so it'll fit my 8-inch wrist quite nicely. It is 49.5 millimeters, so just under 50 millimeters lug to lug. So it shouldn't be too terrible of a wear. However, this bracelet, now I didn't get it to wear on the bracelet, but this bracelet sticks out quite a bit. So this is going to be kind of a larger wrist size type of bracelet. But, you know, I'm not going to spend too much time on this bracelet. It's a very simple construction. It's not very compliant. You know, it doesn't seem like it's going to be the most comfortable bracelet in the world. It's a nice clasp, you know, with NASA stamped in there. It's a milled scissor mechanism. But, I mean, in 2024, at this price point, can we please get more than one micro adjust hole? Or maybe toss in some on-the-fly something? Again, this is a moot point for me, but this bracelet and clasp at this price point these days, I just think that this needs to be better. So that's where we're at with the bracelet. It's a 120 click rotating bezel. Let's see what kind of action we got here. Oh, interesting. So we have some stops built into the bezel there. Oh, wow. That's cool. So you can actually hear the bezel stops because this bezel it doesn't let you time it, but it does let you kind of tell time a little bit differently. So here we have, our clear 15-minute markers. If you like that look, great. I kind of like this look with the purple at the bottom. And that's going to give us our 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then if you want numerical markers every 5 minutes, then you're going to get those there. This is a really cool custom bezel. You don't have to push or pull or anything like that to activate it, but there's a clear hard stop every third in the bezel to make sure that your timing mechanism down here is perfectly aligned every time. So let's do this one more time. I'm going to shut up and get the microphone a little bit closer so you can kind of hear this work. You can kind of hear that click in, just that little whack of a click every third. And then here's where I'm going to keep it. That's cool. I dig that. And it locks in really nicely. Once you're where you want to be, it's not going to move if you don't want it to move. So that's very cool. I kind of dig that. Back to specs. We never finished our specs, did we? We have anti-reflective coating on the sapphire crystal. This is a domed sapphire crystal, and the dome is quite nice. And you can see we get a little bit of refraction, from the dome on the sapphire crystal. The bezel looks to be sapphire as well, so that's very cool. Case back, we'll look at the case back in a little bit, but here's kind of a sneak peek or a preview. Nice custom rotor there with some stars on it. Space travel. It's a NASA space travel watch. And then we are at 20 millimeters between the lugs. And how thick is this thing? Did I skip over the thickness? I bet I did. It's 11.75 millimeters thick, which is kind of... Oh, that's without the crystal. So it's 11.75 plus the crystal. So with the crystal, I don't know, what are we going to be? Like 13-ish millimeters thick. But under 12 millimeters thick with this honkin' module built on top is really cool. And that's probably why they went with the Miyota 9039, because that allows them to keep it as thin as possible. And this is a limited edition. Limited to 385 pieces. What number did I get? Let's see what number we got, because I think it's printed on there. Yes, right there. We got number 43 of 385. Now, come on. We're looking at a micro brand here, right? So if you're doing 385 pieces in each colorway, and you have 6 different colorways, I mean, we're talking up over 2,000 watches total here, right? So is this really that limited, especially because it was still available to purchase with the Black Friday special? I'm not 100% sure. I just don't know if this is really a limited edition watch or if that's just a little bit of marketing speak there. You can see the studio light there is doing some business on that crystal. So the anti-reflective coating isn't exceptional, but it's definitely not bad. And this is going to be, I can't say this is going to be much easier to tell the time on than this. So this is probably going to get more wrist time, even though I'm still pretty miffed that it's not actually a black case. Why is this not black? Anyways, I have a feeling it's going to be a much better look once we get it on the silicone strap, which is the way that I actually want to wear it. So let's go ahead and get this changed out. This is the bracelet, and this is most likely the last time that we will ever see this bracelet. For a $1,500 retail price point watch, this is kind of a piece of crap. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a big fan of that bracelet. Much bigger fan of the silicone here. And it looks like we do have some more plastic to take off. Okay, geez, that was a lot harder than it should have been. All right, let's go ahead and flip this guy over. And now we have a nice clear look at that movement and the little spec sheet that they printed all around for us there, right? So we got number 43 of 385, and then we have our model number, Japan, automatic, 10 ATM, so we have 100 meters of water resistance there, stainless steel, Artemis, limited edition. I mean, that's a whole lot of words, but I guess you need something to put around there, right? And then there's a good look at our Miyota movement. I like this 9039. It's a really good, reliable movement. And it allows you to build things on top of it. And when we look at the watch now, yeah, that's a way better look. I don't know. If anybody's in the market for this watch for the bracelet, don't be. Just don't be. All right. We've talked about it. It hurt my feelings because it doesn't match the the damn promo pictures. Oh, this is still turning and tightening. That's just lovely. We can say that the crown is nicely color-coded and signed as well. So that's kind of cool. Not very often you see a colored crown. Okay, let's get it on wrist. We're going to quit droning on and complaining, and even though I think I have a right to complain, but that's okay. Let's get it on wrist. And here is the Xeric NASA Artemis Tumbler on my 8-inch wrist. To say that this strap is comfortable would be a huge disservice to this strap. It is one of the most incredibly supple and compliant straps I've ever put on, and it helps this watch to just kind of disappear on your wrist. This is extremely comfortable, and with the black of the strap, it does make the fact that the case is not black and more of a gunmetal gray a little easier to swallow. Well, now seems as good a time as any to interject with a real-world Lume Shot. So from the full sun, here we go into a dimly, darkly lit room. We shut the door behind us, and wow, this is good looking. The entire bezel, the minute track, the numbers are like popping off the dial around those cylinders, and we got blue tips of the arrows to make it easier to tell time. Solid lume on this thing. I still don't know if I'm going to keep it. I might send it back. I just feel like I got marketed to and I was misled by a picture. I don't know. This is a tough one, but it looks really good. I like the complication. I like how you tell time. I like that this type of complication was introduced by a brand that makes $50,000+ watches, and it's been democratized by a couple of brands, not just this brand, but Atawak as well. This just happens to be a more traditional, case shape, and it's a friendlier price point than the $2,000. This was, with the discount down to $1,100. The buckle is really nice. I really like the matching buckle. It's nicely finished. It's signed. I'm probably, as I usually do, again, bigger wristed people know this. We usually have to lose a keeper off of the strap because having two of them right there just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That's too much redundancy for me. So I'm probably going to take this keeper off. But for those of you with more normal wrist sizes, you will use both of them quite nicely. All right, let's, oh, look at that. We're kind of mid-rotation up there at 12 o'clock. That's neat. As the time changes, that will slowly rotate around. All right, so we got some stuff going on here. This is good. It's good. It's not all bad. A lot of it is good, except for the pictures on the website. Everything about this is good. Let's do some final thoughts. Here's another look. Is this what's pictured on the website? Was this a bait and switch? Did I get had? I seriously need your help down in the comments. Now, this is a cool looking watch. I really do like it. I think that I'm going to keep it. It wears really nicely. But if you're looking for a watch that is black in finish, don't buy this watch. If you're looking for a watch with an unboxing experience that's going to make you feel special, don't buy this watch. If you're looking for a watch to wear on a bracelet, don't buy this watch. This thing's junk, especially at the price point. If you're looking for a watch with a super interesting, exotic complication and a different way of telling time, this is worth your consideration. If you are a NASA fan and that meatball logo at 12 o'clock brings you joy, this is worth consideration. If you like high quality silicone straps that match perfectly with dial colorways, consider this watch. Does this completely scratch my itch for a new watch that gets regular whisk time, that has a black finish on the case? Obviously not. But I do like gunmetal. It is a darker look. It's super interesting. You can kind of get lost in it a little bit. And honestly, if you don't mind, you can probably unscrew that crown and use it as a bit of a fidget toy because watching those hour columns tumble around when they kind of pass the top of the dial there at what normally is 12 o'clock is really cool looking. And it's probably going to start some conversations. I doubt you'll see people who really understand what's going on here and realize it is. So if you're one of those people who likes the conversations where you get to teach somebody something about the watch that you're wearing, this is right up your alley. But it is going to be an acquired taste. So I don't know. The jury's out for me. It's very cool. It's very comfortable. It's great colors, a fun complication for, just over $1,000 when that complication normally costs $50,000 plus the way it was initially introduced. But you're going to have to tell me on this one. Let me know down in the comments. Has Xeric done me wrong? Has Xeric done this watch right? Both of those things can absolutely be true. Till the next video, I'm going to have to ponder on this one for a while.